Hey, Mark from WeBlocks here, and in this episode I would like to show you how to create a project where you have more than 10,000 collection items. So to create it, we will use an external database. It's MongoDB, and for this example I just created a simple database where I have 4 items with 4 users. The first one is Mac, Helen, Greg, and Joe, and we will display this data in Webflow this way. So this is our website, and Webflow looks like that. So we have the avatar, we have the name and surname, and because we are transferring data from this collection list from MongoDB to Webflow, we are sending informations which looks like that. We have 4 items and they are transformed into this collection list. Why we are doing it? Because in Webflow we have a limit to 10,000 items. So if you have a database which is super large, MongoDB is great for that. In MongoDB, you don't have a limit of items. MongoDB is super fast and it's cheap because you have 1 million requests. It means that your users can open your website 1 million times in the month, and for extra million you are paying only $0.3. So it's super cheap and it's very fast and it's great database, very modern database. So let's start from the beginning and let's do it in a fresh Webflow project. So the first thing which I need to do is to build a collection list. So normally in a Webflow we are using a collection list wrapper and collection list items, but in this example we will just build 2 divs and we will put it inside. So for the homepage I will give it a flex center to let it be easier to see everything, and the first I will call collection, or it will be user collection, and this will be user item. Okay, inside of this I will create a text block with the name which is in the brackets. So we have the brackets and the name. Okay, let's go to the WeBlocks. So WeBlocks is a tool which is generating JavaScript code with blocks. Okay, let's connect WeBlocks with Webflow. I copy and paste this script to my Webflow website, to my page. I scroll to the body tag and I paste it. Save, publish. Okay, right now I go to the WeBlocks and I open database section. I take this block, and right now this block will be responsible for creating this collection in Webflow. But what we need first is the endpoint. What is the endpoint? The endpoint is generating this data, and we can create this endpoint in MongoDB. So let's start from the beginning. The first thing which I do when I go to mongodb.com, I can click sign in, and because I'm logged in, I should be redirected. Okay, and right now I'm in my account, and what is very important is that in MongoDB we have MongoDB Atlas and Realm. Atlas is responsible for our collections. Realm is responsible for creating endpoints. So when I'm in the atlas, I can click browse collections. So this way we are going to my collections, and I have a list of my collections. For this purpose, I will create a new database with a name Webflow users, because let it be that this is our Webflow API connection video, and it will be a collection. So that's the name of the database, and the name of the collection will be just users. Okay, so let's create it. And right now I'm in my, I can open this. So this is my database, and this is my collection users. And right now it's empty. I don't have anything here, so I can create my first user. And if I have to give it the field, so the field name, the first name of the field will be just name. And the first user, let's create Mac. Okay, insert. And this is our first user. Let's add one more. Let's add name Greg. And one more, name Helen. Okay, right now we have 3 documents, 3 items in our collection in MongoDB. So let's create the endpoint which will show this data and put it to our project. To make it, I need to go to MongoDB realm. And right now I can create a new app. Let's call this app API Webflow connection. Okay, right now when we are in the realm, we can, this is our realm application, API Webflow connection. What is the most important? That we need to go to third-party services. When we are in the third-party services, we can create it, and we need HTTP connect service. So this I will call it API connection. This is the name of the service inside of the app. And let's click next. Got it. Okay. And inside of this service, we can create a webhook. And this webhook, actually, that's our endpoint. So this will be called all users. Okay. All users. What's important is to change it from post to get, because we want to get all the users. And I click save draft. And right now I'm here when I need to post some code. And actually I prepared myself the list of the codes which I need for this example. So firstly, I will take the code for the collection. So that's my code which I need. I just paste it here. And I just need to change the name of the table and change the name of the collection. Our names of the collections are here in the atlas. So let's check one more time what was the name of this table and collection which we created. Okay, browse collections. And the name was Webflow API connection video, and the name of the collection was users. So let's paste it here and users here. Okay, let's save, review draft and deploy. Deploy. And right now when I go to the settings, I have my webhook URL here. That's my endpoint. When I will click it to copy this and paste it to the browser, this is list of my users. Right now, when I will go to the WeBlocks, I can paste this endpoint here. So firstly, let's just test it without building. So I will check off building, and we have just test response checked. Okay, we don't need send any data, so I will disable it. You can use it. You can use the shortcut Command D to disable and enable. List of all shortcuts is here, or you can just click the right button of the mouse and click disable. And I will just do the same for replace and change image because we don't need it yet. Okay, right now, let's just check if the WeBlocks is connected. Okay, it is. So I can go to our website. When I click inspect, we can see in the console that we have 3 items. It's Mac, Greg, and Helen. So let's display these items to our table. So first thing which I need to do is check that we want to build. We want to build in our collection list has a class user collection. Let's change it to users collection. Okay, let's publish. Okay, users collection. We are not sending any data yet, but we want to replace name in a bracket with the data item name. We know that this is the data item name because we can check it here. This is our data point name, and that's also visible here because this is our name. So right now we are pushing this name into this element with the name in the brackets. Okay, let's refresh it. And great, we have Mark, Greg, and Helen. Okay, so right now, let's just add a little bit of margin. Let's add also a surname. So we will create a second field, surname. So name, let's give it a little bit of margin right. And right now we will create a second collection list field. So right now I can edit this using this pencil icon, and I can click add field after name. It will be surname. So for the surname I will click Mac from WeBlocks. Okay, and right now, when I will add a second field in WeBlocks, I can publish the project and refresh it. And boom, we have Mac from WeBlocks. Okay, right now let's add an image. So to add an image, I will create it first in Webflow, and the image will have a class avatar. The avatar will have 40 pixels width, 40 pixels height, 8 pixels margin right, and 20 pixel radius. I will use this image which I uploaded before starting recording this video, and let's add center horizontal flex for the item. Okay, let's republish, and right now we will use this block, change image source to data item image. In this item, and it's important to not do it this way, that it's in class, because class is global. We want to add it only in this specific item, which is built in this moment. And we need to add this data to our database. So let's call this field, maybe not images, but avatar. Let's call it avatar. And right now we need a link to our avatar. I actually have 3 items here, 3 images here. So for the first one, I will use this link. So I will paste it here. Okay. For the Greg, I will add avatar, this one. And for the Helen, let's add avatar later, because we will check what happens if the user doesn't have the avatar. We'll see what is happening. Okay. So right now it has the class avatar, it's published, and we have it in our WeBlocks that we are changing the image. It's important to have change image in this section and not this, because this section is responsible only for replacing texts. Okay, let's refresh it. And okay, we still don't have the avatars. Let's check what is the problem, and that's because data item is image and our data item is avatar in our database. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, still there is a problem. Okay, in this item with the class also avatar, because that is the class of the avatar in the Webflow. Let's try one more time. Okay, and this way we created avatars for our users. So right now let's create a single page for every user. It means that if I will click in this user, I want to go to his page. And for that, I will change this div user item into a link. I can click convert to link. And right now, if I want to convert it to link, maybe firstly, I will just style it a little bit better. I will move the decoration, change it to the black. And in the link, what is important, I want to redirect him to the page user, and I want to use a parameter ID. To use a parameter, we need to give it a question mark ID equal to, and in a brackets, I will add ID. Okay, let's publish. Okay, maybe for the beginning, let's create a page user. So that's the page where we will have our collection list. And right now, when I will refresh it and go to inspect, where we can check our list of items, and that's because our test response is checked true. If I will check false and refresh, we are not able to see it. But for testing, it's great to have it. Okay, and right now you can see that we have the ID, but ID is written this way, and after that we have this element. It's important to remember about it, because right now in the WeBlocks, we need to say that we want to replace ID in brackets with our ID, which is made this way. There is ID, and we have this inside. So to connect it, I will use it this way, that it's dot and this. So this is direction to our ID, because this is our ID which we want to get, and to get there we want to go through object ID and ID field. Okay, so right now when I will refresh, I should be able to see this link here. So if you can see /user ID, and this is our ID of our user, which is here in the database. So this is our ID. Okay, and right now When I will click this, I will be redirected to the page with which is blank because we didn't create anything yet. So let's take this users collection from the homepage. Let's paste it to the user too, and let's publish it. And in WeBlocks, I will create one more project. So I will open one more WeBlocks project. I will call it API connection single item. Okay. And right now I will create also API connection. I copy it and paste it using Command B to copy and paste between projects. This is the list of all shortcuts. Right now we will have a different endpoint. We need to create the endpoint for the single element because this endpoint is for all the elements. And right now we will create one more endpoint. So I go to API connection and click add incoming webhook. And right now I want to have single item. This connection is through get method. I click save and I will take the code from my MongoDB Codes. So this is the code for single item. Okay, let's paste it here and let's take the table name because I will copy it from this Webflow API connection video. Okay, so that was our table and collection was users. Okay, save, review, draft and deploy. And right now in the settings, we can copy our endpoint. So this endpoint we need to paste here. And right now, this endpoint will give us only one specific element, but this element is triggered by this parameter. And to get this parameter, we need to use send data block. And right now we want to send to this endpoint ID using not itself. You will learn later what is itself. Actually, when we gave it itself, it will send our variable ID. But right now we don't want to send variable. We want to send parameter and get parameter from URL ID. Okay, right now when I will refresh this page in our console, okay, one more thing. I need to connect this script with our Webflow page, users. Save and publish. And right now, when I will refresh, we have only this one ID, only this one item, which is connected with this ID, and it's Mac. So it's visible here. If I would go to the Greg, then I can see only Greg. Okay. And the last thing which I would like to show you is that for a moment you can see these placeholders and how to get rid of that. In Webflow, we can add a little bit of custom code for the CSS. So I need to open style tag, close style tag, and I will add that collection user collection has opacity 0 on the beginning, and I will add it to the home page and to the user page too. Okay, and I will publish it. So right now it has the opacity 0. It is somewhere here, but it doesn't have opacity. I can add this opacity after load all items. So let's add CSS property opacity value 1, 2. I will copy it from here. Okay, and exactly the same thing here for the second script. Okay, right now when I will refresh, we are not seeing these placeholders. We can see automatically the data. Okay, I hope you like this tutorial. If you do, it would be great if you could click the like button, and this way this tutorial will go to more people. More people will be able to learn from it and get value from it. So it would be great if you would click the like button or consider subscribing this channel. And if you like it, you can also send me a comment what you think about that, if it's valuable for you. And like always, see you soon in the next episode.